Well, hello and welcome to the video where we're going to be talking about the verb/expression I bet. Now, again, similar to the previous video, this is an expression that's very commonly used in the English language, but seems to again have been largely ignored by ESL teachers, at least where I'm from. And again, I don't really know why, because it's a very common expression and it's not particularly difficult to understand. There are 4 or 5 slightly different meanings which I suppose might contribute to the fact it's being ignored, but really it's not that difficult. Okay, so with I bet, I guess the dictionary definition would be playing something for money. Okay, so I think this is going to happen. I will put this amount of money. If I'm correct, I win money. If I'm incorrect, I lose the money. Rather like this. I bet $10 on black 24. Thank you. Okay, fantastic. So, yeah, in that situation, the guy said, I bet on black 24. I bet on black 24 and it came up. He won the money. He's happy. Okay, and obviously people can bet on many things. People can bet on, in this case, roulette. People can bet on football or the horses or poker, for example. I will bet you $5 I'm going to win. Okay, I will bet you that I am going to win. Now, of course, we're not all robots living in England. We don't really speak like that, do we? I'll bet you $5 I'm going to win. There we go. It sounds a little bit more natural. We don't say I will bet you. It sounds a little bit more betcha or bet ya, depending on where your accent is from. But I will bet you that I'm gonna win. Of course we speak like that. Okay, so that's bet. That's the dictionary definition of bet. But when else can this be used? Well, it can also be used if you want to challenge someone. Okay, so if you say, I don't think you can do that, or no, I think I'm going to win this, like this.
I bet you can't do this.
I bet I can. Okay, I can't. And there we go. So the girl there said, I bet you can't do this. She's challenging the man, saying, I bet that you are unable to do this. And the man says, well, no, I bet I can. And of course, he thoroughly embarrassed himself. He could not. Okay, another challenge might be if you're playing sports. I bet I'll beat you. Okay. I bet I'll beat you. Playing ping pong. I'm challenging you. I'm challenging you that I think I'm going to beat you. Okay, so that's the second one. And then the third one is just if you're predicting something. I think this is going to happen. We're not talking about money. We're not talking about any competition. It's just me predicting, or it's just somebody predicting. I bet that this is going to happen. For example, I bet it will rain later. I bet it's going to rain later. You're predicting. There's no competition in that. You're not saying to someone, oh, you don't think, you whatever. You're just saying, I bet it's going to rain. I'm sure it's going to rain. Okay. It could be, for example, I bet England win the next World Cup. Okay. I bet you pass that exam. Of course you're going to pass the exam. I'm sure you're going to pass the exam. I bet you do. Or, negative, I bet you don't pass the exam. I bet England don't win the next World Cup. Okay, so they're the 3 issues, 3 ones I kind of wanted to have a look at. But then I thought, well, there's also a way you can respond. You can say, I bet, just in a response. It's kind of a wishy-washy answer, but it is kind of a good response that you can say. For example, have a look at this text message chain. Okay, so this first one, we can see a picture of a car that has crashed. And the person says, my dad was so angry. And I responded, I bet. What do we think that means? What's that response, I bet? Well, that response means, I'm sure he was. I can imagine. Yeah, I'm sure that's true. So Someone can say to you, "Oh, wow, this hot sauce is really spicy." And you say, "Ah, I bet. Of course, I bet it's spicy. There's a lot of chilies in it." Okay, so I can imagine. It's like a response saying, "Oh yeah, of course, I get that." Another one here. It says here, "Are you coming to the party tonight?" And the response is, "You bet." It's not a very common expression anymore, but you know, these Cambridge exams and they never use common expressions. "You bet" means of course I'm going to be there. Yeah, look at that. It means of course I'm going to be there. Okay. Do you think that England are going to win the World Cup? "Ah, you bet." Is everyone going to put a like on this video? "Ah, you bet." Of course they will. So that's "I bet." So let's go over that. It can mean literally what it means, putting money on something as a competition. It can mean challenging someone, not for money, just challenging someone, saying, "I don't think you can do that," or "I think I'll win this," or something like that. Or number 3, it can mean where you're just predicting something. And of course, it can be used as a response. "I bet." "I can imagine." "I'm sure that's true." Or "You bet." Of course that's going to happen. Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much.